Good morning, cruisers, and welcome to our Live with Princess Cruises and Cruise Guru. My name is Terry Bettany, and I'm actually the cruise product manager, which means I get to do fun things like choose the cruises we put in our emails that we send out, help with how things appear on our website, and I work really closely with our cruise line partners to make sure we've got all the best deals ready for everybody at Cruise Guru. Of course, I got to multitask even a little bit more than normal during COVID and got to help out with the refunds and everything else that needed doing. It really is teamwork that makes the dream work at Cruise Guru. I've been in the travel industry for over 30 years, and I first set foot on a cruise ship when I went to work on one in December 1999. It sort of feels like yesterday and a long time ago at the same time. I was lucky enough to actually return to sea a few years later, and I was working as a future cruise consultant with Princess Cruises between 2008 and 2011. I was lucky enough to work on board Star Princess, Emerald Princess, Royal Princess, not the current one. She was the middle one that I worked on, Diamond Princess, and lastly, Crown Princess. I've also been fortunate enough to have cruised on a few princess ships as well. And most recently, that was the gorgeous Majestic Princess, who'll soon be returning in Alaska. So that's very, very exciting. For those of you who aren't familiar with us, Cruise Guru is an award-winning online travel agency that is part of the Travel the World group. We're very proud of our online booking site, which gives you the ability to book a cruise at any hour of the day or night. And trust me, there are people that book in the middle of the night because that's when they work or that's when they like to book cruises. If you prefer the personal touch, though, our team of amazing and experienced consultants are just a phone call or an email away. They've actually been on deck prior to and all the way through the COVID period, and they're still there ready and waiting to take your calls and tell you all about how exciting cruising is, especially with Princess Cruises. Even better, a number of us have had the privilege of cruising with Princess, and we've cruised pretty much all over the world with Princess Cruises, not just close to home. I think the only one still to tick off our list with Cruise Guru is Antarctica, and that's definitely on my bucket list. So you'll be able to take advantage of our first-hand knowledge and experience. Two of our experts even got to cruise early in 2020, and they were some of the first to experience Ocean Medallion. I was just a teeny bit jealous. If you've checked out our Facebook page recently, you will even see our Meet the Team Tuesday posts, so you'll know just exactly who you're talking to. Now, speaking of Facebook, while the presentation is happening, you can drop in questions at any time into the comments section, and you will be able to get answers to those questions through the presentation. We will now have a short video, and then we'll have Princess Cruises New South Wales State Manager Rachel Tyrrell. I first met Rachel when cruising in Venice in 2004, and there is just nothing she doesn't know about Princess Cruises. Today, she will be telling us all we need to know about Princess, the health and safety on board, and as well as the exciting new Ocean Medallion.
I hope you enjoyed our short introduction on Medallion class cruising. This is the most advanced technology in the industry today. We really do have exciting times ahead. Terry and I will cover more on Ocean Medallion later in the presentation in our Q&A session. So good morning, everyone. A special welcome to all of our Captain Circle guests. Thank you for choosing Princess. We value your loyalty and support. Now, a little bit about me. I've represented many of the Carnival Corporation brands for the past 20 years, dedicated to Princess for the past 8. And I've cruised over 200 nights on Princess alone and have celebrated many memorable milestones on ships. And I can't wait to step on board again. So let's get started. So today I want to cover 4 key areas. There's an update on our Book with Confidence policy. We're going to talk about our cruise health protocols on board. We're going to have a Q&A on Medallion class, which is a Princess exclusive, and this is really a game changer for our industry. And finally, I'm going to highlight our new 22-23 program, including the World Cruise for 23, and our latest campaign, Dream and Discover. And at a time like this, I'm sure we all want to dream and discover, and what's new on the horizon. So let's get started. Princess Cruises is one of the best known names in premium cruising globally, operating a fleet of 14 modern ships, soon to be 15 with the launch of Discovery Princess for early 22. So wherever there's an ocean, Princess can take you there. Some of you who may be joining us today may be new to the Princess family. So I'd like to start by sharing with you why you may consider cruising with Princess for your next holiday. So the top 2 reasons that guests choose Princess is our service from our crew and the food. Everything is prepared freshly from scratch. It's really your home away from home. Now, our clients believe quality is more important than price. They want value. Now, some of the other features that really set us apart is by far our Captain Circle loyalty program. And it has to be the best loyalty program industry-wide. Now, who can forget the free laundry? Now, whilst we're cruising in Australia, Australian currency, all of our ships are Australian currency, no tipping. However, if you were to take an international cruise outside of Australia, it would be US dollars on board, and tipping would be applied to your onboard account. Now, I've already said we offer, as a premium cruise line, we offer premium accommodation, and we have our new club class mini suites, which are definitely, I would highly recommend. We have award-winning partnerships with chefs like Curtis Stone, award-winning composers and lyricists like Stephen Schwartz, and shore excursions. And we also offer military benefits and shareholder benefits where you can get extra onboard credit when you're cruising with Princess. So who wants to take a Princess cruise? And I'm sure many of you here today listening would like to. So to give you some peace of mind, I want to talk next through our Book with Confidence. And the main update here is that the book and travel dates have been extended. So guests may change their holiday plans on bookings made on or before the 30th of September. It was at the end of June, but we've extended it until the 30th of September for any cruise departing up until the 31st of December 2021 for all Australian and New Zealand home port cruises. So if you need to change your plans for any reason up to 30 days prior to your departure, we're going to give you your money back as a future cruise credit. So even if you are inside final payment and there was cancellation penalties, as long as you make the change 30 days prior, you will get a future cruise credit. However, some of you may be thinking, well, I'm actually not looking at 21, I'm looking at 22 or 23. Now, this policy, our Book with Confidence policy, doesn't cover you. However, our normal booking conditions apply. You can simply cancel 6 months out from departure and receive a full refund. There is absolutely no risk, so secure a booking today with Cruise Guru. Now, please speak to your Cruise Guru consultant for more details, as land arrangements may be subject to other fees and charges. Now, thank you to those who have submitted questions prior to this update, and certainly Terry and I are going to try and cover all of those questions throughout the presentations. But really, the top 3 sort of questions were around the onboard experience. What will cruising look like? What will Princess be doing and implementing for our new improved health measures on board? And the number 1 is, when are we restarting cruising in Australia and New Zealand? Now, I do not have all the answers as this is ever changing, but here's what we know right now. Our number 1 priority and responsibility is the health and well-being and safety of our guests, crew and all the communities we visit, plus compliance and environmental protection. There is new information and data coming out all the time. The science around COVID has changed so much throughout 2020, and so too our course has changed and may still change around onboard health protocols. And Ocean Medallion is going to play critical role when we return to service. So very quickly, I just want to share some of the key updates. So familiar to us now in our current lives, many of these practices we already do and have done prior to COVID. Guests and crew may be required to have a COVID test before boarding, health checks throughout the cruise, and contact tracing on board. What we know is preventing COVID being brought on our ships is the best remedy. During your cruise, the guest experience. So some of the changes, despite popular belief out there among some media outlets, the buffets will remain open, but we will serve you. Controlling movement of passengers, the size of groups, adjusting time and flow of passengers around the ship with our new contact tracing. And Ocean Medallion, again, will be key. There will be an increase in hand washing stations across the ships, as well as hand sanitization stations as well. Now, it begs the questions, will masks be required and vaccine? Will you be required to have a vaccine when you travel with Princess? Now, here in Australia, this is yet to be determined here for Australia and New Zealand. However, if we look to the UK as a guide for when cruising returns at the end of July, it is a UK government requirement for our return to service that all of our guests must be vaccinated and our crew and wear masks if they are unable to socially distance on board. So for cruising here in Australia, this is still to be confirmed, and we're waiting for the framework to be confirmed. Now, the cruise health on board. Now, this is an area where we really do excel. All of our staff have full registration with the UK General Medical Council, and this is the longest established health accreditation across the UK and Europe. All of our medical teams and fleet are now fully trained in working on COVID, treating those affected on each ship, and have medications to treat COVID. We are enhancing our medical centres so that we are better set up for best practices around infection control. And we also have on-the-spot COVID testing capabilities and ongoing training for our crew. And talking ventilation systems as well, there will be an increase and enhancement for our air distribution systems, improving the quality and flow of fresh air around the ship. We're also adding HEPA filtration systems into our key areas, such as the medical centres and isolation rooms, as used on aircraft, so that it will replace the air throughout the public areas and staterooms more frequently. Now, on isolation rooms, another question that often gets asked, will we be setting aside quarantine cabins? Nothing has been confirmed, but things are certainly pointing in that direction. Likewise, people often ask about our capacity on board, and certainly when we restart globally, we are looking at reduced capacity, but for here in Australia, that still is yet to be determined. And finally, our partnerships with our local stakeholders, working with communities in every place we visit, not only to protect our communities, but protect our passengers and crew. Shore excursions will be operating with full compliance with safety guidelines and health authorities. Now, we currently have the biosecurity order preventing us from coming into Australia, and this has been extended until the 17th of September. So stay tuned for further updates from Cruise Guru or via princess.com website on the actual return to service and the framework for return to service, which is still yet to be determined by the government. But certainly our senior managers are really lobbying to get this signed off as soon as possible so that a restart is hopefully just around the corner. So now that we've covered the book with confidence and some of our health and safety protocols that we're looking at implementing, I'd now like to highlight our new program. Now, this is our biggest program, and it's a full 12 months of cruises now on offer. We have so many opportunities for you to sail with Princess for the summer of 22 and 23, including the World Cruise 23. So let's take a look. So cruising in our waters for the summer of 22-23, we've got 4 ships. We've got the Majestic Princess, Royal Princess, Grand Princess, and the Coral Princess. Now, these ships represent a third of our global fleet, highlighting the importance of this market globally. Now, our summer program will offer round trip and one-way departures from Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide and Auckland. We have New Zealand round trip itineraries as well as one-way voyages ranging from 10 to 19 nights, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide and Auckland. We've got 2 circumnavigations, one at each end of the summer, including stops to Cairns, the Great Barrier Reef, and our new port of call, Curie Bay for the Kimberley region. We've got Northern Explorer itineraries from Sydney, but we've also got departures from Brisbane and Perth. Queensland, Great Barrier Reef, round trip from Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. Tasmania, which is super popular at the moment, and also visiting the islands, Fiji, New Caledonia, and our popular Papua New Guinea itinerary ranging from 11 to 14 nights. And we also have 4 Trans-Pacific crossings, which are normally very popular for our guests. So North America to Australia, so our repositioning cruises for the spring of 22 and autumn 23 on Majestic and Grand Princess. And there will also be 2 35-night round trip from Sydney, Brisbane and Auckland for our Hawaii, Tahiti, South Pacific itineraries. Now, finally, we've got Asia and Australia, our repos on the Royal Princess, sailing from Hong Kong and Sydney, with stops along the way to Indonesia and Vietnam. Some really great options for our guests. Now, our new brochures will be available from July, so speak to your Cruise Guru consultant to request a copy. Now, let's take a look at our fleet and what we've got available for 22-23. So Majestic. So this is our 3rd summer here in Australia, and she will be home ported in Sydney. And she was launched in 2017. Some of you may remember the Duchess of Cambridge was her godmother, and just before she gave birth to little George. And basically this ship is 143,000 tonnes, 3,500 passengers. Certainly a modern, sleek, looking ship. Venues like the Hollywood Pool Club. She's got the Sea Walk, which is our glass bottom walkway that cantilevers out over the ocean. We've got Medallion class, obviously, and this is something that we're saying Medallion class fleet-wide when the ship returns, when we return to service. We've got award-winning luxury bed and fabulous new and exciting entertainment and dining options like the new Voice of the Ocean, World Fresh Marketplace for a casual dining, and also culinary partnerships such as our French restaurant and our Asian Cantonese restaurant Onboard. Now, moving on to the Royal Princess. The Royal Princess, this is her first time where she'll home port in Sydney along with her sister ship Majestic, and she's the flagship of our newest class of ship. And I've got to say the key thing that I want to highlight here, she's got the best kids club centre out of fleet. There's loads of outdoor spaces, the outdoor adults only sanctuary. We've got pools forward, mid and aft, and she offers premium inventory. So all of our Royal class ships have no ocean view cabins. So it goes from interior straight up to balcony. So no standard ocean view cabins. An experience that is a must on these Royal class ships is our chef's table Lumiere. It is a must do, and it is the ultimate in fine dining, taking you behind the scenes for a galley tour with champagne and hors d'oeuvres, followed by a multi-course dinner with matching wines. That is my top tip for cruising on our Royal class ships. And also we have popular classics like our crooners, Bellinis. My personal favourite is Vines. So if you see me on board, I'll be in Vines because I love that they serve the evening canapes. So if you enjoyed Majestic, I know that you're going to love the Grand Princess, the Royal Princess. Now moving on to Grand Princess. So Grand Princess will make her maiden season in Australia, home porting from both Melbourne and Adelaide. And she's very similar to the Golden Princess. 109,000 tonnes, 2,600 passengers on board. And she's got the classics, the Sanctuary, the Lotus Bar, the Wheelhouse Bar, which is a real, popular feature, as well as movies under the stars. Now moving on to Coral Princess. And finally, the Coral Princess will be home porting from Brisbane. However, we'll be offering sailings from Perth throughout the summer, and she will be the dedicated ship for our World Cruise in 22 and 23. Now, she's a mid-sized ship, 90,000 tonnes, just under 2,000 guests on board. And what I like to say is she offers a small ship feel, big ship experience, meaning more venues, more space, and less people, especially when you compare it to our Sun class ships. And this ship was purpose-built for scenic cruising, focusing on exterior cabins. In fact, if I was to compare it to our Sun class ships, she has twice the number of suite beds. She has nearly 6 times more mini suites and over 40% more balcony cabins. So there is plenty of premium accommodation available on this ship. And also, she's one of 2 ships in the fleet that offer the Bayou Cafe and Steakhouse, featuring Cajun-inspired and Creole cuisine. So check it out when you're on board Coral Princess. Now, something that is brand new and very exciting, and I recently had the opportunity to go to Brisbane, as did Terry, to do a site inspection of the new Brisbane International Cruise Terminal. And what an impressive site. $177 million investment, purpose-built cruise terminal. And they've literally thought of everything. A great option for clients wanting to cruise from Brisbane. It's 15 minutes from Brisbane Airport and 30 minutes into the city, and also features car parking spaces to be able to drive to the terminal and leave your car in the long-term car park. They've literally thought of everything. But check out the Brisbane International Cruise Terminal website for more details. Now, finally, I want to share with you some of the details of our 23 World Cruise Voyage. Now, it's basically a carbon copy of what we intended to operate in 21, and we all know that what happened. So all in all, it's a return voyage of 107 nights from Sydney, Brisbane and Auckland. So departing Sydney on the 4th of June, Brisbane on the 6th of June and Auckland on the 31st of May 2023. Now, for those of you who don't have a lazy 3.5 months to spare, we do have segments and liners available. So the full voyage will travel 32,500 nautical miles, 44 different destinations across 26 countries, covering Asia, Arabia, Med, Greenland, Canada, and the Americas and the Pacific. We offer late night calls in places like Dubai, Aqaba for Petra, Jordan, Barcelona, Lisbon, Belfast, Cork in Ireland, London, Reykjavik in Iceland, Quebec City, Papeete, and Auckland. Now, we also have 3 overnights for Dubai, New York, and Lima, and 6 maiden world cruise ports. So we've got Elba for Portofiaro in Italy, Marseille in France, Malaga in Spain, Tangier in Morocco, Belfast for Northern Ireland, and Invergordon. This itinerary really has it all, and access to over 20 UNESCO World Heritage sites. Now, we do offer early booking benefits for guests who book before 30 November this year. We are offering up to $4,000 per stateroom early booking benefits, which is exclusive to our Captain Circle members. Now, moving on to Dream and Discover. So, as you can see here, this is our new campaign, Dream and Discover. And basically this runs through to the 31st of August, and guests can receive up to $400 shore excursion credit per stateroom on selected voyages. And past guests can also receive an additional $100 shore excursion credit plus specialty dining for 2 on cruises 7 days or longer. Now, with the launch of the new campaign, we also have a new pricing option for you to choose your fare type when booking. So you'll notice that there are 2 fares. So you can either choose Princess Saver, which is our lowest price standard fare without any of the extras. However, if you want it all, we've got the Princess Plus, and this is the best value. It offers our all-inclusive beverage package, and Wi-Fi is also included. And this is certainly proving our most popular amongst our guests because it really is the best value. So for as little as $40 a day, you can receive our premier beverage package and unlimited Wi-Fi. Now, don't you think that's great value? And I do want to highlight with the beverage package, it's not just alcohol. That covers coffees, water, juices, mocktails, whatever other beverage that you may have. So certainly consider looking at our Princess Plus pricing. So now if we can bring Terry back, let's have a look and get into our Q&A for Ocean Medallion. And this is part of the presentation where I guess Terry's going to ask me some questions and we're going to share some of the key highlights on Ocean Medallion.
Thanks, Rachel. Thank you. That was so great what you were telling us about everything with what's happening with Princess right now. So as I mentioned earlier, 2 of my colleagues were lucky enough to cruise with the Ocean Medallion early last year. And yeah, I was a lot jealous, not just a little. Can you explain to those of us that have not yet experienced this amazing technology a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. So I was lucky enough to experience Ocean Medallion for the first time on the Regal Princess. Believe it or not, my last cruise, which was in November 2019 on a Canada-New England cruise. And I've got to say, it was just the most amazing experience. Ocean Medallion really offers best in class for customer experience. It offers the most advanced technology in the industry, and it takes away the common stresses of cruising, from waiting online on board to get a drink, finding your way around the ship, finding your friends, bad Wi-Fi, taking part of a muster. And really the Ocean Medallion and all of its technology takes care of all of that. Now, you may notice on here that I'm actually wearing an Ocean Medallion. So in very simple terms, every passenger will receive one of these little Ocean Medallions, okay? So everyone will get one of those. It's free, and it simply replaces your cruise card. So the old-fashioned cruise card, you will now have your Ocean Medallion. And there's loads of different accessories that are available. So obviously I've got the necklace. I've got like a little stick pin here that you can wear on your lapel, possibly for gents, on formal nights. And I've also got more of a Fitbit type rubbery one. And the medallion just fits basically, I'll just show you. It literally pops out. It's magnetic and it just slips out and then pops in, as I'm fumbling here, into your little watch screen. There you go. So you can see that. So it's a wearable device and it simply replaces your cruise card. It's waterproof, heat, sand and salt resistant. So, if you're out on deck, wanting to swim or in the ocean, etc., there's no problems. It is personalised with your name and it reflects your captain circle status, and you will receive 1 per cruise. And I think it's a really nice memento because it's magnetised. You can pop it on your fridge when you get home. Now, in terms of, I guess, the client, there's no need for key cards for check-in. It will allow them to embark the ship and disembark the ship, complete all the safety requirements, enter their stateroom. They can make a purchase and they can also enjoy enhanced guest service from our crew. And Medallion really takes care of all of that. However, some people that want to completely disconnect, they may simply just use the Ocean Medallion to basically embark and disembark the ship, purchases and getting into their stateroom. However, we'll have a look at some of the features. So the whole expedited arrival. So when you get to the actual terminal, you've already selected your preferred time of arrival to get to the terminal, and it's streamless. You've got keyless entry, as I mentioned. Now, I think the other thing that I think is really important to note is finding your way around the ship, but also finding your shipmates. This is a fantastic feature, and certainly something when I was cruising, it was a great way to keep in touch with your friends. Where are you? Let's meet in the bar at this time. And particularly if you came back early and you're on different shore excursions, who's on board, who's around. So it was really fantastic. And these are just some of the cool features. You can play games, you can wager as well. But really, I think the other thing, what I love is whatever you want and need, it can be delivered.
Sure.
So it offers you convenience, allows you to stay connected on board, and basically it's free to use whilst you're on board as well. So hopefully that covered your question.
Yeah. And how do our guests actually access the Ocean Medallion on board to make sure they're getting the most out of it? Does that mean I'm going to leave my trusty highlighter at home that I used to use to highlight things on the Princess Padda?
Well, I guess great question. First part of the question would be guests can download. So they'll go to either the App Store or Google Play and download the app, Medallion Class app, and it's available. And I have it. I've just lost my phone, but I've downloaded it on my phone, and that will basically allow you to have access to all of these amazing functionalities. Now, we'll tell you, when we rolled out Ocean Medallion in 2017, you had to download various apps, but now it's all been rolled into the Medallion Class app. So you have access to all of these things like Ocean Ready, Ocean Compass, Ocean Now, Ocean View, and Ocean Casino. So I guess just to cover some of those off for you, Ocean Ready is your pre-cruise information, all your travel documentation, Ocean Compass, finding your way, your shipmates, navigation, that type of thing. And the Ocean Now is your on-demand service, so your Uber Eats at sea, shall we say, and the Journey View, which will allow you to customise your shipboard or itinerary, and that's where you'll find your new Padda, but it certainly takes it to the next level. And then, and I'll come back to those that don't have a smartphone or a tablet, because it's also the functionality is also available via the portal or your smart TV. So moving on to the Journey View. So in answer to your second part of the question, if you were to go to the Journey View, basically this accesses all of their activities for your entire cruise, so that you can plan ahead and book these in advance. So I guess it's like the digital Princess Padda, shall we say, Terry? So feel free to take your highlighter, but now you can plan it. And I guess one of the features is that not only do you plan for the day, but you can basically the itinerary for the whole voyage. Pardon me.
Awesome.
So, yeah, this is really fantastic. And it also allows guests to have a look at capacity levels. So, for example, if they want to book into, the show or one of the activities that is going on throughout the ship, they're able to do that. Now, for me, with the Journey View, I certainly would want to look at it, but I wouldn't necessarily want to lock everything in, because I want the flexibility and the choice to be able to, rock up to anything. But for those people like you, Terry, that like to plan and be organised, I would suggest that you would, register and lock into things that you were interested in attending. And then again, you can, a bit like Facebook, where you can sort of let your friends know that you're interested in attending. Would they like to join you? Those type of capabilities. So it's super cool. So maybe bring your highlighter just in case.
No problem. So you mentioned Ocean Ready before. So if I'm booked on a cruise, what are the steps to get Ocean Ready?
So obviously you downloaded the app. Okay, and really getting Ocean Ready is entering all of your pre-cruise information, and this is a requirement for all our guests, including children. And there's a lot of information that I guess your guests would have previously entered into Cruise Personalizer. However, all the required documentation is all uploaded. So by the time your clients arrive at the terminal, you simply collect your medallion at the terminal, and on board you go. So it's a bit like checking in before a flight, and the goal is to get as many checks done before you actually get to the port. So the health and safety, you've uploaded your photo, all of those types of things are done. And, it's certainly our goal that once you arrive, you're straight on board, and we're sort of saying curbside to poolside in under 10 minutes. It's simple, easy and fast, with minimal contact. Now, what if you don't have a smartphone or a tablet? I thought I would just add that in there, because we certainly want you to encourage you, if you don't have a device, certainly you may have to rely. Certainly I know if I was cruising with my parents, my mother, I'd have to help her, and my grandmother.
I'm pretty sure I'd be helping my dad too, do his getting him Ocean Ready.
Yeah, so, you may have to rely on your children, but once it's done, it's a one-off thing, and then that would just speed up the whole embarkation process. But of course, on the day of embarkation, we will have staff on board to assist you with the process should they have not got Ocean ready. But our absolute goal is to get everyone completed and what we're calling the green line. So you'll get little ticks in your profile to say you're ready. So we're Ocean ready. Who wants to get on a cruise, hey?
So whilst you've been paused, a lot, of course, has changed, and I'm sure there are a lot of new enhancements that have been made to Ocean Medallion during this time. Can you share some of these new features that guests can experience on board their next cruise?
Absolutely. So, I've already talked about embarkation, and the fact that you just pick up your Ocean Medallion and then head straight in to boarding, and there's no need to fill out any forms, etc. But also because you've uploaded your photo, basically that then talks to the ship as well. And so, when you get to the ship and the gangway, you don't even have to take a photo. That's already uploaded.
So standing there and getting the ding.
Yeah, correct. So it's a seamless process. And it also allows for social distancing as well. So by having touchless and that staggered arrival, so which obviously clients choose. Now, I think the big one and the one that's got people really excited is the muster. So a real simplified process. So gone are the days of the traditional muster where, you go to the theatre and, listen to the drill, which could potentially take, an hour out of your cruise. Guests can now watch the safety video, and whether it be on their smart device, via their phone, or via their TV, or any of the portals around the ship, because, and I don't think I actually mentioned that, but there's various portals around the ship where you'll basically be able to, whether it be navigate, make any special requests, that type of thing as well. So with the safety drill, so basically what would happen is you would go to the area, you have to listen to the muster drill, and you actually have to check in, so to speak, at that muster station. So we need to verify that you know where the muster station is, but it's a couple of ticks and away you go. So I know that is just a real game changer. We also do contact tracing on board. So again, with the Ocean Medallion technology, this will speed up and assist with onboard contact tracing should the need arise. Now, also our stateroom services, so they'll also feature something new. So just outside the cabins, and as I said, there is keyless entry now to the cabins, but they have a little portal where guests can basically tap on to say, that they would like their cabin made up, or that they don't want to wish to be disturbed, those types of things. And we also have a new event attendance indicator, which I think I've already mentioned, in the journey view, which allows you to save all your onboard activities, but it also allows you to view the numbers that are going. So, if you were going to a show where it looked really popular one night and busy, you might think, you know what, I might just give that show a miss tonight and,
Sure.
go at a different time, change course, so to speak.
Okay. I was at a restaurant last weekend and we could scan like our QR code and then we could order online. Is there a way to do things like that with Ocean Medallion with the app?
Yeah, well, I guess in our everyday lives, we've become used to convenience and shopping online, right? And everything that we want delivered in a matter of hours or minutes. And this is now too available on all of our Princess ships via Ocean now. So it's our on-demand service, and you don't have to waste time waiting in line, and basically you can get answers straight away. So whether it be from the crew and get you back to enjoying. Now, this is one of the great features that I love. Guests can order food, beverages, any retail items via their smartphone.
Oh, fantastic.
Or via the portals or from their TV around the ship.
So if I'm at Movies Under the Stars and I'm feeling like a hamburger, I can get out my smartphone and I can be ordering a hamburger and a hot chocolate or something like that.
You absolutely can. And
Awesome.
It even got better. We've now got a new feature where you can actually customize your request. So say we've ordered a pizza, but we want chili, or we want pizza and we want, extra cheese. Coffee, the way you like it, you can now customize your request. So again, I think this is awesome, and certainly, something for our guests, that whatever they want delivered, it might be towels to the stateroom, and now it's now available just with a click of a few buttons on your phone.
And I thought cruising was easy before.
It's got a whole lot easier.
We've had some questions about dining before. You mentioned that there'd still be buffets.
Yeah.
But how will Ocean Medallion make dining easier?
Well, we've introduced this new concept of Dine My Way, and this is a new enhancement where guests will be able to pre-plan and tailor their dining experiences. And it pairs with Ocean now, so on demand. So it really offers clients the ultimate in dining on board, both flexibility and convenience. So to give you an idea, it basically allows for you to, obviously for those people that like traditional dining, they're going to, check in for, the same dining time for the duration of the cruise, and that's totally fine. However, for those people that like the flexibility, which is like myself, and particularly say we were on board a cruise and we met up and said, oh, hey, do you want to have dinner together tonight? Basically, I've got a reservation at Sabatini's at 6. Do you want to join us? Basically, I can add you into the booking, which is fantastic. So other things, so you can add friends and family members, obviously, in your travel party. You can also choose, and this is a new feature, your preferred pace of dining. So things like, say you were rushing to a show one night and you thought, you know what, I don't have the time to go for, a 2-hour dinner, but I'd love, just an entree and a quick service. You can order quick service. Also, your preferred dining location. Yeah, so whether you want a window close to the entrance, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Also share with us your dietary preferences as well. And again, you can pick the same venue each night, but it does allow you to dine when you want, with whom you want, and how you want, and where you want. So whether it be in the, casual dining areas, the buffet areas, our specialty dinings, or the main dining rooms, you now have the choice. Now, to allocate your dining, now this is something that you really need to be aware of. You must be paid in full. However, for our elite and platinum and suite guests, they can allocate their dining once their booking is deposited, and this is a really exclusive benefit to those guests as well.
Awesome. Now, I know sometimes the passenger services desk can be a little busy on the first and last day of the cruise. I've heard you are making it even easier for clients to contact them on those days. Can you explain a little bit more about that, please, Rachel?
Yes. Well, this is certainly another new enhancement, and it's going to be a real game changer for the quick delivery of service to our guests, and it's called Crew Call, and it's basically like a live chat. So can you imagine?
Love a live chat.
I'll put you back on your deck chair and you've decided you would like a towel, or, you need anything, you've forgotten your sunscreen or something like that. Basically, you can chat, make the request, but you can also chat, ask a question, what time is something on, whatever the question is. So as you say, on embarkation day or disembarkation day, it always is quite busy. Might be a quick question, and they'll be able to get that response. Maybe it's a direction on where to go. So basically, I've got an example here. So what time do we arrive in port tomorrow? So rather than standing in queue, you can just send a quick message and someone will respond to you. Where's the closest coffee shop to where I am? So I think this is going to be a game changer. And I think as well for, your cabin stewards as well. So say if you wanted to leave them a message, I always take a little packet of Post-it notes with me on a cruise to leave a little message for my cabin steward. But now I'll be able to do crew calls. So yeah, awesome. Exciting times ahead, but
we'll be leaving our highlighter and our Post-it notes at home, right?
I know. Well, moving into the technological age. But hopefully that gives you an idea about Ocean Medallion. Awesome. I mean, I think it's just, it really is going to be a game changer. And, for those people that just don't want to be on a device, there's plenty of options, whether it be the portals around the ship or their stateroom TV. And otherwise, just, enjoy the cruising experience. But for those people that love technology, love booking in things, certainly they're going to love it too.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I've learned
No
a lot,
worries.
and I can't wait to get back and cruise.
Oh, me neither. Now, really, just as a final summary for me, I just wanted to say that there's some real positive signs for the UK with the Regal and Sky Princess making their return to Southampton last week with their restart set for the end of July, and the return of our Alaska season this summer for Majestic Princess. Now, we also last week announced a return to service for cruises out of Los Angeles, San Francisco, Fort Lauderdale for departures between September and November this year. And this will allow guests access to destinations like the Panama Canal, the Caribbean, Mexico, Hawaii, and Californian coastals. And this is a really exciting times that things are starting to get back to some kind of new normal. So we'll have 8 ships in total out of our 14. So this is really positive news for cruising globally. Now, in terms of the new programs, obviously just to remind you about the Dream and Discover. So that's through to the end of August. And I did want to say there is a preview brochure out, and the full brochure will be available from July. We've got our new Asia program, which is on sale now. And again, we've got the 3 big ones, particularly destinations that are very popular here in Australia. Europe 23 will be on sale 16 July. We've got Alaska for 23, 18 August, and Japan for 23 for 31 August. So again, lots happening. But on the home front, with the vaccine rollouts now well underway and very low locally acquired cases, despite our recent spike here in New South Wales that seems to be creeping up, people really are starting to get back to the new normal. We've just released from Claire yesterday that more than 600,000 guests have successfully sailed on hundreds of cruises since July last year. And I guess this is really encouraging news that the cruising is starting around the world, and we really hope to restart here in Australia and New Zealand is just around the corner. So in the meantime, stay safe. I look forward to the day when we can be back on the high seas, Terry, exploring the world again together. But I'll now hand over to Terry, who will talk to you about some of the fantastic deals that Cruise Guru have on offer for you. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes, you'll always have a seat in my gondola, I promise. Now, I just wanted to highlight a couple of cruises. I know Rachel and I have probably been talking a little while now, so I'm just going to go through a couple of our favourite cruises and our cruises that we know book up nice and early. So we're wanting to make sure that if these are the ones you're wanting to do, that you jump onto these sooner rather than later. So who wants to fly when you can cruise? 35 nights headed around Hawaii, Tahiti, and South Pacific in springtime. I know that's for me. September 2022, this cruise is going, and the inside or interior cabins start from just $6,891 per person, with balconies even under $10,000 at $9,292 per person. So there's some really great prices there to go away. And we're also offering, as well as the Dream and Discover shore excursion credit, we've got bonus shipboard credit coming for you as well. For 1 week only, we've got extra shipboard spending money when you book through Cruise Guru. And we're also going to pop in a couple of travel coffee mugs as well, just to say thank you for attending this live event and booking on one of our cruises. So it is certainly a Majestic cruise. But speaking of another Majestic cruise, I don't know about you, but Christmas time can be a little bit fraught. And having spent a couple of Christmases at sea, I know which ones I would prefer. I'd like the captain and Santa to do all the hard work for me while I sit back, relax, and enjoy Christmas at sea and even New Year as well on this fantastic itinerary. It really is something. You'll get so much on board when you do a Christmas time cruise with Princess Cruises. I can tell you there is gingerbread houses galore. There is so much atmosphere and fun and entertainment, and New Year is a hoot as well. There is almost plenty to do normally inside and outside. There is just something for everybody, no matter which way you would like to celebrate. So same, we've got some great bonus offers on this one, some extra shipboard spending money. If you book with us in the next week, we can offer that for you. So don't think about this Christmas. Head on and think about 2022 and make sure you've got some great plans locked away with us. We're more than happy to help you there. Now, I know that some people don't have as much time as others to do like a full round Australia, but Princess offers some great like half trip around Australia as well. So we can actually do the Northern Explorer, where you sail north from Perth up the west coast, past the Kimberleys, along the top, and then down the beautiful east coast as well, down through to Sydney. And I'm sure that many of you have done this already, but there really is nothing quite like sailing into Sydney Harbour. It really is just something else. It's really one of those bucket list experiences, and we're so lucky to have that right here. It's leaving just after Easter, so it's a perfect time to escape and get away, and some great prices here starting as well at just over $3,500 as well for an interior cabin, and again with the great bonuses. So we'd love to help you out. You can book online at www.cruiseguru.com.au, or you can speak to one of our amazing consultants on 131303 as well, and they'd be perfectly happy to help you and talk to you about your options as well, because we know that there's so many other Princess cruises as well. Coral Princess out of Brisbane, I think she's one of the few that I haven't been on board yet. So I've been on her sister ship, the Island, but not the Coral, and I can't wait to set foot on board. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you will have seen that we've got a special bonus offer for just 1 week. So starting from today, we can offer you some bonus shipboard spending money. But I forgot to mention earlier that it also comes with a reduced deposit. So now is the time to get in and book that one. We've got 1 week to do that, so up until the 1st of July. Now, I know there'll be a few people like me that have a future cruise credit or a future cruise deposit, so we are able to help with those as well. If you book online and pay your deposit, then just call our friendly staff and we'll be able to apply those future cruise credits for you, or just call and book and they'll be able to help you with those. Even if they're somewhere else, didn't book with us the first time, we can still help you with those future cruise credits. We really love being able to help and assist with those for you. So we also know, and this is where my dad comes in again, I mentioned him a little earlier, how I'd be helping him with his Ocean Medallion. There are other ways to earn some extra shipboard credit as well, and we really value our servicemen, whether they're retired or active, and you can actually get some extra shipboard credit if you are a serviceman past or present. We can help you out with that as well. And even shareholders, they can do that as well. I'd like to say, if there's any questions, you can also keep popping them in the chat. We'll be here for a little bit longer and we can answer any more questions for you as well. I love this picture. It is my favorite. It just warms my heart. I can't wait to be back on a ship. I want to say thank you so much for attending our webinar. And I mentioned Rachel and I will be staying on deck for a few more minutes to answer any burning questions. So pop them in. We're happy to answer them for you. Where are you most looking forward to cruising next, Rachel?
Mediterranean is my number one. That's where I'll be off to. Obviously, need to get back to the UK for family, and I'm sure we'll have some time to tack on, a Mediterranean cruise. What about you?
I really want to go to Alaska. I miss Alaska. I loved going to Alaska.
I'd actually like to take Tom to Alaska, and it's been a while, so it's a good excuse to get back there. For me, it was 2007, I think, that I did Alaska. So, was it 2007 you were on that same cruise? Was it?
We were.
Was it 2007?
Yes, it was 2007 on Golden Princess.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I can see that there's some questions. I'm not sure if the team have covered most of those. Let's have a look here. Sapphire and Diamond. I too love Sapphire and Diamond.
It's exciting to see Diamond Princess will be in Singapore.
Thanks, Peter, for your comment. Have we got anyone else that has a burning question? But anyway, what I would say is that after the presentation, we will compile all the answers and let people know any responses that we haven't covered off today.
And we can keep replying to you in the comment section of the chat. That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't see that question come up. Can we put that back on?
I'm not sure. I did actually have one more question. I know it was all very, it was when you reach elite status, when you had your cruise card and it went black, that was always very exciting. Will Ocean Medallion go different colors as well?
It will, yes. So
very exciting.
Obviously, this one's, the standard blue, but yes, you will obviously, for you and I, will be black.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we've got a new question.
And you can also buy other, so even though I showed the accessories, you can actually buy like little cards, kind of, if you kind of imagine this sort of perspex little case that we give you, there's like little inserts. So if you were celebrating, I don't know, your birthday or a celebration or whatever, you can buy little bits, but also they will be Captain Circle status. About the muster, I think it is great to do it via either portal or RTV, and then go to the muster check-in. Does this have to be done before we set sail? Yes. So basically, yes, it does have to be. So you do have to do this before we set sail. There's no time frame, but just before we set sail. So, I would suggest that most people go to their cabin, drop their stuff, and would basically do the muster right there and then from the comfort of their stateroom, and then, or get out and deck, whatever your preference. But certainly they would need to have done that before sail away, and then that way they can go and tap in past their muster, and away they go. So it's really simple. What if I don't have a smartphone? I think that I addressed this. I mean, if you don't have a smartphone, you can use any of the portals around the ship. Your TV is a smart device, so you could use that. And really, if you don't have a smartphone and you don't want to use it, that's fine. It's not going to take away from your cruising experience of what you know. So, Robert, I would suggest to you that, you're the cruiser, that it'll, the Ocean Medallion will serve as your entry into your stateroom. It'll be your entrance, your access to on and off the ship. And that's basically, that's all you're going to use it for, and making purchases. So nothing's really changed of what the cruise card, it's all of the other features that Medallion class offers, really. More shows. Will there be more shows due to social distancing? Again, that's a good question. It's yet to be, I think, decided, but there certainly was talk that they may have to be staggered. But, logistically on board, I don't know how we would, facilitate that. But, I would say watch this space. It could change.
Okay, I think that might be it for the questions. Thank you so very much, Rachel, for joining us today. We've been so excited to learn so much more about what's going to happen when we all get back.
Well, this is our first time. Yeah, this is the first time that we've done StreamYard. So if anyone wants to know anything more, have any other updates, David, thank you very much. Thank you. And but as I said, if there's any other burning questions, certainly put them in the chat and we'll try and respond to those. We're excited to get back as well. So yes, it was extended. So the ban, the Biosecurity Act has been extended until the 17th of September, unfortunately. But hopefully once we get the framework, we will be ready to go. Yes, fingers crossed. But thank you everyone for your time today. Thanks, Terry and the team at Cruise Guru, who are amazing partners and really value the opportunity to share the latest information with your clients. So thank you.
Awesome. And thanks to the team behind the scenes that you haven't seen that have been helping us out. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for our tech gurus.